Great things, and full of wonder in our ears, far differing from this world, thou hast revealed, divine interpreter, by favor sent down from the Empyrean to forewarn us timely of what might else have been our loss, unknown, which human knowledge could not reach, for which to the infinitely good we owe immortal thanks, and his admonishment receive with solemn purpose to observe immutably his sovereign will, the end of what we are. But since thou hast vouchsafed gently for our instruction to impart things above earthly thought, which yet concerned our knowing, as to highest wisdom seemed, deign to descend now lower, and relate what may no less perhaps avail us known. How first began this heaven which we behold distant so high, with moving fires adorned innumerable, and this which yields or fills all space, the ambient air wide interfused, embracing round this florid earth? What cause moved the Creator in his holy rest through all eternity so late to build in chaos and the work begun? How soon absolved, if unforbid thou mayest unfold what we, not to explore the secrets, ask of his eternal empire, but the more to magnify his works? The more we know, and the great light of day yet wants to run much of his race through those steep suspends in heaven, held by thy voice. Thy potent voice he hears, and longer will delay to hear thee tell his generation, and the rising birth of nature from the unapparent deep. Or if the star of evening and the moon haste to thy audience, night with her will bring silence, and sleep, listening to thee, will watch. Or we can bid his absence till thy song end, and dismiss thee ere the morning shine. Thus Adam his illustrious guest besought, and thus the godlike angel answered mild. This also thy request with caution asked obtain, though to recount almighty works what words or tongue of seraph can suffice, or heart of man suffice to comprehend. Yet what thou canst attain, which best may serve to glorify the Maker, and infer thee also happier, shall not be withheld thy hearing. Such commission from above I have received to answer thy desire of knowledge, within bounds, beyond abstain, to ask, nor let thine own inventions hope things not revealed, which the invisible King, only omniscient, hath suppressed in night, to none communicable in earth or heaven. Enough is left besides to search and know. But knowledge is as food, and needs no less her temperance over appetite. To know in measure what the mind may well contain oppresses else with surfeit, and soon turns wisdom to folly as nourishment to wind. Know then that after Lucifer from heaven, so call him, brighter once amidst the host of angels than that star the stars among, fell with his flaming legions through the deep into his place, and the great sun returned, victorious with his saints. The omnipotent eternal Father from his throne beheld their multitude, and to his Son thus spake. At least our envious foe hath failed, who thought all like himself rebellious, by whose aid this inaccessible high strength, the seat of deity supreme, us dispossessed. He trusted to have seized, and into fraud drew many, whom their place knows here no more. Yet far the greater part have kept, I see, their station. Heaven, yet populous, retains number sufficient to possess her realms, though wide, and this high temple to frequent with ministries, due and solemn rites. But lest his heart exalt him in the harm already done, to have dispeopled heaven my damage fondly deemed, I can repair that detriment, if such it be to lose self lost, and in a moment will create another world, out of one man a race of men innumerable, there to dwell not here, till by degrees of merit raised, they open to themselves at length the way up hither, under long obedience tried, and earth be changed to heaven, and heaven to earth, one kingdom, joy and union without end. Meanwhile, inhabit lax, ye powers of heaven, and by my word, begotten Son, by thee this I perform. Speak thou, and be it done. My overshadowing spirit and might with thee I send along. Ride forth, and bid the deep within appointed bounds be heaven and earth. Boundless the deep, because I am who fill infinitude, nor vacuous the space. Though I uncircumscribed myself retire, and put not forth my goodness, which is free, to act or not, necessity and chance approach not me. and what I will is fate. So spake the Almighty, and to what he spake his word the filial Godhead gave effect. Immediate are the acts of God, more swift than time or motion, but to human ears cannot without process of speech be told. So told as earthly notion can receive, great triumph and rejoicing was in heaven, when such was heard declared the Almighty's will. Glory they sung to the Most High, goodwill to future men, and in their dwellings peace. Glory to him whose just avenging ire had driven out the ungodly from his sight, and the habitations of the just. To him glory and praise, whose wisdom had ordained good out of evil to create, instead of spirits malign, a better race to bring into their vacant room, and thence diffuse his good to worlds and ages infinite. So sang the hierarchies. Meanwhile the Son, on his great expedition, now appeared, girt with omnipotence and radiance crowned, of majesty divine, sapience and love, immense, and all his Father in him shone. About his chariot numberless were poured cherub and seraph, potentates and thrones and virtues, winged spirits, and chariots winged from the armory of God, where stand of old myriads between two brazen mountains lodged, against a solemn day, harnessed at hand celestial equipage, and now came forth spontaneous, for within them spirit lived, attendant on their Lord. Heaven opened wide her ever-during gates, harmonious sound on golden hinges moving, to let forth the King of glory in his powerful word, and Spirit coming to create new worlds. On heavenly ground they stood, and from the shore they viewed the vast, immeasurable abyss, outrageous as a sea, dark, wasteful, wild, up from the bottom turned by furious winds and surging waves, as mountains to assault, heaven's height, and with the center mix the pole. Silence, ye troubled waves, and thou deep, peace, said then the omnific word. Your discord end. Nor stayed, but on the wings of cherubim uplifted in paternal glory rode far into chaos, and the world unborn for chaos heard his voice. Him all his train followed in bright procession to behold creation and the wonders of his might. He then stayed the fervid wheels, and in his hand he took the golden compasses prepared in God's eternal store to circumscribe this universe and all created things. One foot he centered, and the other turned, round through the vast profundity obscure, and said, Thus far extend, thus far thy bounds, this be thy just circumference, O world. Thus God the heaven created, thus the earth, matter unformed and void. Darkness profound covered the abyss, but on the watery calm his brooding wings the Spirit of God outspread, and vital virtue infused and vital warmth throughout the fluid mass, but downward purged the black Tartareus cold infernal dregs, adverse to life. Then founded, then conglobed, like things to like, the rest to several place disparted, and between spun out the air, and earth self-balanced on her center hung.